Hello everyone, this is Daniel, and this video I want some warriors. Not old warriors, not military people, but prayer warriors. And if anyone's up to this job, God will be speaking to you every night. This is not witchcraft, this is actually God intervening. That He will show you people that He wants you to heal or to help. And He pray every night that He basically tells you to do something. Maybe you just pray that night that He just shows you that someone needs help or something like that, or anything that person needs help with. Whatever the job is, Jesus will help intervene with that person. And He will say things like, oh, do you want this person to change? Do you want to help this person? And then when I say yes, then He says, alright, then the person's been healed. And in this case, if you're brethren, you may want to ask Jesus to help the person. Like whatever night you choose, if it's like this one night that He chooses that to happen, or maybe the next night He chooses that to happen. Whenever Jesus tells you to do that, that's the night you pray that people will be healed. So I want you to pray, like every night, if it's available, that the person will be healed from either prevent murder or also prevent things like death or anything like that. Anything that pertains with death or people perishing and all that, and going to hell and all that. Make sure that all of that is prevented in prayer. And I'm gonna get few views, but at least these people they really need your help, either spiritually or emotionally or physically. Like, these people will definitely need your help. So how does this work? All you have to do is pray to Jesus that you can help them during your dream. I know it sounds weird, but this is how it works. Just pray to Jesus that you will be able to help them no matter what. Because these people are fragile. These people are the type of people, maybe, that will end up killing a lot of people. Maybe they'll end up killing themselves, and it's not really a heaven or hell issue. It's more like they're going to hell. So really, it's a hell issue. It's basically, it's an issue of how they're going to have to escape from hell, really. And basically, how desperate are they? Well, if God tells you that night that He needs your help, then He needs your help. No matter how tired or how you don't want to do that night, He's gonna do it no matter what. And when that happens, you will be ready. He makes you ready. If anything, He gives you a reward after that. It may not be, let's say, that at that time where He gives you that reward, or maybe at that time. It depends on how He feels. Especially, I mean, last time I'm not going to give you the details, but especially if someone's going after the cops. Because if anyone's going after the policeman, they're definitely going to have, that person's going to have reward if they prevent any type of casualty. And if anyone's wondering, well, again, if anyone's wondering if they're going to heaven or hell, they will want to pray to Jesus, say, oh Jesus, I want you to know if I'm going to heaven or hell. He may not answer it immediately, or He will answer it in pertaining of dreams. Because yes, Jesus uses everyone during their dreams. It's not a prophecy issue. It is an issue of if that person's going to do that or not. Well, You're wondering, are there prophets anymore? Well, if it's really at the end of the world, then the only prophecy is for your life, or if you're involved with someone else's life, or if you want to pray for someone else. Like, for instance, if you're involved with someone else's life, you may want to pray for someone else to A, become, successful in that area, or B, if it's a complete total stranger, it pertains to their own spiritual life, that they go to heaven and that they are saved. If anything, please, I'm begging you, pray for those people. And if God points to that person that you need to pray for that person for, that person will definitely need prayer. Because I don't know how many times He's going to do that to me. It pertains to that person no matter what. Because, if it's like, 10 casualties including him, or if it's like 2 casualties including 2 police officers or anything like that, and then that person ends up dead, and that includes a third, it's anything to do with, a person's salvation. It really is. So this is a serious message pertaining to dreams, because God can still use you in dreams to say this person's going to do certain things, even though, you don't think it's a prophecy. Even though you think it's a prophecy, it's actually you saving that person's life. It's you literally, changing that person's life around. It's basically a method of how that person's going to be healed in their mind. It doesn't matter how many things go right or wrong. It matters that you do something about it and how right it goes after that. Jesus will give you complete assurance that it's alright. That you don't have to do anything else. If God will intervene, He will definitely intervene. Because He is perfect. He is perfect no matter what. And if you pray for anything that pertains to, that person being saved, and if you pray for that person to not do that, that person's going to be okay. Trust me. I know it sounds weird that the person mentally changes his mind from doing that, but God is perfect, like I said. No matter what, He's got this under control. I know it's very hard for our human minds to understand. We're just humans. Even then, Jesus became human to understand what we are understanding. Even though He was perfect in human performance, and He was perfect as a human being, even then, He ended up, he actually just, as a human, understood what everyone was, suffering about. He took all of our pain. He took all of our sufferings. He took all of our stress and all that, and He put it on Himself. Jesus, yes. And if you're wondering, how does Jesus do that? Because, His Father, it's basically the Father that is really Jesus. He basically, He gave us His begotten Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. He did not come to condemn the world, but to basically save the world through Him and give basically His own peace of mind. Basically, what does this all mean? If you're wondering about John 3:16 to 17, all He's just saying is He loved the world so much that he would die for us and hang on the cross and defeat hell, death, and the grave. And if you're wondering, okay, how is he going to take my sin away? Well, it really wasn't part of your lives anyway. He really just canceled out sin. That's all he did. And for anyone that is praying for salvation for people, it's not just the whole world. You cannot pray for the whole world. You can pray for your own salvation. But if you want to pray for certain people's salvation, like, let's say, you can pray for someone else's salvation, let's say your son or anything like that. But if you want to do that for a certain, if you want to do it for a stranger, do it this way. Pray for a certain stranger, then ask for Jesus to give you a certain stranger to pray for salvation for. Then in the end, he will give you a certain stranger to pray for salvation. And then in your dream, you'll just say, yes, Jesus, I want to give him the salvation. I want you to give him salvation. And then, once you pray for that, Jesus will intervene in his life, and he will have the choice to have salvation or not. And definitely, he will choose salvation. Remember, prayer warriors are God's favorite people. Why is that? Because it's not him being, let's say, he's definitely not some sort of, servant that he would do every single prayer. But on the other hand, he wants to help everyone that's asking for his help. He is our helper. He is our redeemer. He is our comforter. Because the things that are of love of God are love, faithfulness, and I think it's the last one is endurance. Those three are things that will last forever. And love and faith are the things that will never go away. And after that, it's love that will never go away, ever. The fruits of the Spirit is love and faithfulness. And no matter what, the fruits of love will definitely stay forever. Now, I don't know what else to say, but if you keep praying for these people that God shows you, no matter what, the prayers will be answered, and that person will wonder, wow, was that really me? Was that really me that just stopped thinking about it, or was that something else? And then you will find the book of the Bible and just wonder, wow, people are praying for me, I guess. I guess. Was that my mother? And he will just wonder about his mother, and then he'll look up miracles, and then he will just look up salvation. And by that time, he'll be saved. Don't worry about the person. He'll find salvation afterwards, because anything that is dramatic as, killing people and mass murder, and that you prevented mass murder, it's a miracle of love that saves people and gives them salvation even though they were planning a mass murder. Because remember, people, we're just like everyone else. Even though we have differences, we're like everyone else no matter what. We're all just human. We all need we all need each other's help. And most importantly, we all need help from God. It's all a desperate situation. And if anything, God's the only one that can intervene in our lives. Even though we help each other, and how God helps us, only God can intervene in our lives. Remember that, okay? Alright, I'll put on, okay? God bless and